Hey guys, Paul from Net Audio here, and today we're going to talk about Ford Super Duties. Now, the Super Duty platform that we're dealing with is from 1999 to 2016. Everybody knows the Super Cruise. Everybody does the Super Cruise. There's probably like 20 to 1 on the Super Crew compared to the Super Cab. So we're dealing with the Super Cab. Everyone else just calls it an extended cab. Ford's name is Super Cab. Since it's not a very popular platform, there's not nearly as much aftermarket support, but also there's just not a lot of space. And we've been asked for years and years if we offered a box, and we had tried a couple of different approaches before we had the CNC machine in order to come up with a solution under there. We couldn't come up with anything we liked. Now, the CNC machine didn't give us magical powers, but before the CNC, a lot of our designs were a little more simplistic because we had to be able to recreate them easily off of, basic dimensions and jigs and stuff like that. So once we got the CNC, got, a lot more experience under our belt just in general, learning and growing, we had another customer come to us and we took another stab at it. One thing that a lot of manufacturers, if they have a solution, what I did not like is that the face of the box stuck out quite a bit from the front of the back seat. And I didn't want to do that. It's already a small space. It's an extended cab, not a Super Crew. You just don't have as much leg room. So I did not want the face of the box sticking out from the front of the seat. I also didn't want to be limited to extremely shallow subwoofers. What we came up with is I just filled up that entire space. We matched the angle to the back floor as well as we could, and then just stopped it right at the front of the seat, and it fits under there beautifully. We have the build out for around the seat brackets and everything, and what we ended up with is 1.36 cubic foot and around 6 inches of mounting depth. Now, what we're doing a little bit differently is this is in our series of enclosures that we're building out of 1/2-inch birch. Certain vehicles, we have enclosures that we do out of 1/2-inch birch because it's thinner. That gets us an extra 1/4 inch of interior volume, so it gets us more airspace. But this birch, this isn't your plywood. This is cabinet grade plywood. So it's 1/2 inch. It's something like 11 or 13 plies. So it's very, very dense, very, very strong. But also the box, it's not really long spans. We're not worried about a whole lot of flex because this board itself is only 5 inches tall. So I'm not worried about the box not being dense or not being strong. 1/2-inch birch is a fantastic use of this application. We do it all the time in-house. The other thing that we're doing is we are recessing the subs down to 1/2 inch for a little bit more clearance to the seat, but we also, in these two cases, we are using our steel back plates, and this gives us an extra 1/2 inch of mounting depth for certain applications where we need more space. So in this configuration, we have 6 inches of mounting depth, and that's going to work out fantastic for a lot of different subs on the market. Now, this version with the 4/8, this one is sealed. This version has 2/8 and it is ported, but these boxes also work very well for 10s. We do build them for 10-inch subs regularly. 1.36 cubic foot on a single ported 10, that is where the vast majority of 10s on the market really want to be. Any standard size, standard shape, I'm saying it doesn't have to be like shallow, it can't be like 7 inches tall. There's a lot of 10-inch subs on the market that work very, very well in here, ported, and we run the port out the side into the passenger door. This works fantastic. 2/8s work fantastic. Both of these are sundown 8s. These are going to be running a lot of power in a sealed application, so this is going to work very well. So it just kind of comes down to the sound that you're after, and that's what we really preach is what sound do you want first, and then we'll point you in the direction of what subwoofer enclosure style that we can do and what subwoofers are going to match with that airspace. So that's going to be key when you're dealing with such a limit on space, is really matching that equipment to what available space that we have. As an example, there are certain brands that a entry-level 10 wants 1 cubic foot sealed, and that's really big for a sealed box. Well, that same sub also wants like 2 or 2.5 cubic foot in a ported box. Well, this is not going to work. It's not going to perform well. If you follow us online, we really like our Audison subwoofers. The first one of these we did was actually using the Audison APS 8s. So we ran the 2.8s on a 500.1 ported. It worked very well. You can do the single Audison APS 10. It's a little big, but still works very well. That's going to give you a little more pronounced deep bass. Running 2 of them in there works. It's just not as pronounced on the deep stuff. If you want something a little more aggressive, a single Hertz Melee Pro shallow would freaking jam in here. So there are some really great options. Like I said, it's just matching up the airspace. If you have questions on that, feel free to reach out to us. We want to sell you something that's going to perform like you expect it to. So us having a couple of conversations back and forth about what's going to work, what you like, what we've had experience with, feel free to reach out to us and we will definitely help you out. So hopefully that answered some questions for you. We've got lots of different options on the website. Of course, you get your pick of carpet colors. We can do standard black. This tan is a very good match with the factory tan. They have a couple of different gray options. If you have an older series, do also have red and blue. So if you have a 1999 to 2016 F250, F350, 450, 550, all the 50s, if you have any of those trucks in the super cab, extended cab configuration, these are going to be a great solution for you. So if you have any questions about what configuration you want to do, definitely hit us up. You can call the shop, 940-767-1800. Shoot us an email at paul@netaudio.com. You can definitely catch us on our messages, comments down below, and Facebook and Instagram, all that fun stuff. So if you need anything, check us out. We'll help you out. Thanks, guys.